No one can ever say I'm not up for a big challenge. You know, the striped bass can be one of the more difficult fish to catch in fresh water. He's not limited by shoreline or structure or cover. He can swim anywhere in the lake he wants to, and he can be very difficult to catch. But there are a few keys that if you practice those on your favorite lake, you could have a great chance to catch some of these hard fighters for your very own. We show you how coming up right now. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Sports South.
Hey everybody, I'm really happy you chose to join us for this week's show because I think we're in for a real adventure and a lot of fun in the next half hour as we take you striper fishing on this week's show. We are originating today from Possum Kingdom Lake. It's located in north central northwest Texas near the city of Mineral Wells, but I'm going to pass along some tips, methods, and some information that's going to help you go out, locate, and catch some striped bass of your very own in Striper Lake where you live. And we're taking you around your local region for your fishing reports for this week from our expert team of insider reporters. Hey, this is going to be a blast today. Glad you're here. Let's get things started with your weekend plan.
The Salooner tables are forecasting fair game fish activity for both days this weekend. Expect the best daylight action to take place at 11:32 a.m. on Saturday and 1 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. Look for the sun to rise at 6:41 and set at 8:26. And we have a full moon Friday, so evenings should be bright. Stay with us. We'll be right back with freshwater and coastal fishing updates from around the region. Plus, Randy Howell, winner of the 2014 Bassmaster Classic, joins us for the Ask the Pro segment.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Lew's, setting a new standard of fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Hey everybody, we made it out to Possum Kingdom Lake, and I have killed the engine on top of a good school of what looked to be stripers right now, just scattered around right in front of me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a little pitch out here, and I want to show you on my Lowrance HDS 12 right back here on the console. You can see these stripers swimming around underneath here, so they are here. It's early, it's first thing. Let's see if we can get bit right now. Got him, all right. It's been a long time since I've hooked up on the first drop like that. That's pretty amazing. This feels like a pretty good fish. Can't tell, but you can see him just, there he goes. Oh, big one. Nice one. Nice one. All right, look at this. Got a nice one right off the bat. How about that for the first drop of the day? How many times has that ever happened where we've gone out and the first drop, a nice quality size striper like that hits? That is just pretty amazing right there. Look how beautiful this fish is. He is just a gorgeous specimen there. Get a good look at him. All right, we're not keeping fish today, but if we were, that would be a good one right there. Back he goes. A lot of times in the summer, you'll get schooling action on the top. They'll push those shad up to the surface and just go crazy, just busting them all over the surface. And it only happens for the first 30 minutes, hour, maybe 2 hours. The other good thing that can happen is if you get some overcast skies, a lot of times that'll keep them up a little bit longer. Go early. That's your first principle of warm weather or summertime striper fishing. Get up early, go early, be there at daylight, be there when they feed. Okay, we are off and running. You're off and running with some fishing reports from your backyard.
Hey folks, Captain E here with your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Marshall's Marine, located in Lake City and Georgetown, South Carolina. We're your bass boat leader since 1969, and for all your nitro and bass tracker needs, visit www.marshallsmarine.com. Starting off on the saltwater side of things, I'll tell you, the South Atlantic Fisheries Management Council is having some visionary meetings and webinars where you can actually have your voice heard, and you can find more out about an amendment that they're looking to do as far as the snapper grouper fishery. Make sure to have your voice heard. Visit South Atlantic Fisheries Management Council's website at safmc.net to get more information. Also, the saltwater side of things, the sheep's head continue to be a go-to species. The jetties and all the structures that you have inshore right now are covered up. Fresh barnacles and fiddler crabs are sure to make sure you have a great time with these little convicts. Also on the inshore reefs, the Spanish mackerel are starting to show up. I love the live chum for them. The mullet are everywhere. I'm going to be getting out over the next 4 to 5 weeks and really concentrating on these fish. Also in the saltwater side of things, we're starting to hear that the sharks are slowing down a little bit. The guys that were grouper fishing have been going through heck trying to get the grouper up to the boat because of the number of sharks. Hopefully these warmer waters and the fish moving north have cleared out our areas in the Carolinas, and we can get out now and concentrate on those grouper and have a great day with some gags and scamps, because it's that time of the year to get out and catch them up. Also in the freshwater side of things, the striper bites continue to be really good early in the morning, late in the afternoon, and also all day long trolling live bait on those deeper areas. And another thing, the bluegills are still biting great. I talked to some great friends who fish a lot up in the Santee area and also in some of the rivers around here, and they are catching a ton of fish. This has been your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Marshall's Marine. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Up here in some shallow water, only 13 feet deep, and man, there's just tons of bait fish, shad up here of all kinds. Dig this crankbait down through here. There's one, he bit it right there, coming right up on that ledge. Oh, that's decent fish, not too bad. I'm just gonna flop him aboard. All right, there's another striper for you right there. Not a big one, but a good fight right there, and caught him on a crankbait. So back he goes. Let's talk about how you locate these fish. It can be very difficult. 2 major factors. First thing you want to do is you want to eliminate as much dead water as you can, and these fish can be very deep. So you want to find the spots on a topo map or on your chart where you've got deep water hitting up against some kind of a shallow place for them to feed. It can be a long tapered point coming out into the lake. They love ledges. So if you find a ledge that's maybe 15 feet deep on top and a sheer drop into 40 feet, that's prime striper feeding territory. But there's another important part of that equation. You can't just find the locations. You've got to find the places where the food is. You've got to find the bait fish. So you do that by going to those target zones, the places you found on your topo map, and driving across those and looking for these little balls of bait fish. I'll show you what a couple of those look like. When you see these balls of bait, those are the places where the stripers will come and feed. And you combine those 2 things, the right location with the food, you got a great spot to catch some striped bass, and you can eliminate all the dead water, find the good water fairly quickly. Time now for more fishing and lake reports from your area.
This part of the program is brought to you by MirrOlure, the right tools to catch them. From topwater plugs to subsurface models to deep running lures like the deadly Heavy Dean. Turn on the bite anytime. Tie on a MirrOlure. Summer fishing's in full swing, and Captain Patrick Garmison over in South Alabama on the Lower Mobile River tells me that the sea trout fishing has been great for big fish. He says freelining live small menhaden pogies is the ticket to catch these fish. No weights, real light tackle, using fluorocarbon leaders, just drifting it back very slowly from an anchored position. He's catching them along deep edges of the river and also along riprap banks. Mobile Bay triple tail fishing also has been good. In that area they call them blackfish. They're not real big, and you got to kind of move along until you find a fish that's worth catching. There's a lot of 2 to 5 pound fish, but there's also some that are pushing about 10 pounds. Offshore along the Mississippi coast, they're catching some kingfish. These fish are 10 to 15 pounds, and some big bull red drum around the bait pods. Look for the bait pods. Sometimes you got to find them on your depth finder. They're just offshore a little bit of the barrier islands. Further offshore in Mississippi, they're catching some big tuna. This is toward the western part of Mississippi, around the oil rigs. It's long run fishing. Sometimes it's well before daylight or even at night, but some of these fish can be big. They're 80 to 100 pounds, and there's an occasional wahoo offshore too. In Georgia, the big word is tarpon. They've arrived in mass in southeast Georgia around the Golden Isles, St. Simons, Little St. Simons. Most skilled anglers anchor and wait for a tide line to move to them. with the fish moving along. A lot of times you don't see these tarpon. They're kind of deep. Every once in a while they'll roll, but those are fish that will eat.
Welcome to the Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi Freshwater Fishing Report. This week's update is sponsored by Gadsden, Alabama. One of Northeast Alabama's premier tournament bass fisheries, Gadsden, Alabama gives the angler everything you can need close by. Convenient boat ramps, hotels, and dining make the Coosa River and Neely Henry Lake experience one to remember. If you're looking for some fishing action across the three-state region right now, the weather definitely plays a part in it. We've fallen into a pattern of sweltering daytime temperatures and then thunderstorms in the afternoon. This turns it into a guessing game of deciding where to fish and when to fish. In southwest Mississippi, a good place for some of that is at Mary Crawford Lake in Lawrence County near the town of Monticello. This 128-acre state fishing lake has good channel catfish action right now. There are 2 boat ramps, good bank access, 24 fish attractors, and the best places to be fishing here are in the drops along the points that run out to deeper water. A lot of these fish are holdovers from earlier fishing rodeos or stockings, so they average 4 to 8 pounds each. Cut fish or chicken livers are the baits to be using. A hot weather option in southwest Georgia is to target bluegill in 8,500-acre Lake Blackshear near the town of Cordele. This reservoir in the Flint River is shallow, filled with timber, and it's a hot spot for summer panfish. In North Alabama, Gunnersville Lake gives you 2 options for largemouth bass this week. Early in the morning, it's a topwater bite over the grass beds. Later, if you can stand the heat, try pitching creeper baits to the edges and openings in the vegetation.
Let it flutter down. Hit the bottom. We're striper fishing today, having a good time doing it. Once it hits the bottom, crank it up 4 or 5 cranks. Got him, got him, got him, just like that. Man, it works. Good pull right there. Let's see what we got. These stripers out here at Possum Kingdom are mean and have a horrible attitude. Keep my drag set on my Lew's BB1 Pro. Keep it real light so that if they make a big run. Oh, and he's got a snoot full of it too. Got him. Look at this. All right. Well, we've had a good day today catching those. Man, these fish are feeding heavily on shad, and they're starting to fatten up just a little bit. Well, we are here in West Texas today at Possum Kingdom, but let me give you some lakes where you can catch stripers near you. They're readily available in many lakes across the southeast and southwest. These fish are great fun, hard fighters, they're great eating, and our wildlife departments around the region have done a great job of stocking stripers, and there are some near you.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Introducing the XI5 for ultimate boat control. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
There he is, he's got it. Boy, that was a hard hit right there on the way sideways. Don't. Oh, he's stripping drag off. Get in that net. Oh, wow. Well, let's use the pliers and pop this hook out of his mouth. That's a good fish right there. How about that? Good, long, skinny, torpedo-looking fish, but that's a solid, healthy fish. Anybody would love to catch a striper of that size right there, no matter what part of the region you're from. Slip over here and let him go back. All right, let's talk about presentation on stripers for a minute. You need a horizontal presentation to make a striper bite. What I mean by that is you need a bait going horizontally across the water column, not jigging vertically straight up and down. Several baits will do that. That's a big spoon, a swim bait I've caught them on today, a crankbait. Those are all horizontal presentations. One other thing I need to tell you about when you get into a place where there are some stripers. Particularly in the summer, you need to watch for the thermocline. All the stripers will be above the thermocline. You're looking on my Lowrance HDS 12, my new Gen 3 unit there. Clearly you can see the thermocline in this water we're sitting in right now. It's some darker blue area there. Everything below that has almost no oxygen in it. There won't be any fish, there won't be any bait below that 28-foot level where the thermocline is. So you need to be fishing horizontally and above the thermocline in order to get a strike. Here's more fishing reports for you.
Hey guys, everybody knows that Stormer is the industry leader in foul weather gear, but what you might not know is they also offer top-of-the-line performance wear, such as these long sleeve shirts, caps, and other accessories. It's moisture wicking material, it's UV protectant. Go to stormerusa.com and figure out how they can show you how to control the elements. Let's talk night fishing. Night fishing is it's probably the most consistently good thing going right now. Daytime temperatures are high, we're full-blown summertime, water temperatures are high. Guys, you can get out at night, you can beat the heat, you can beat the crowd, the water temperatures cool down so the fish are a bit more active. It's not that complicated, it's a little bit different than daytime fishing obviously, but it's not real complicated. A big black spinnerbait with a big black Colorado blade, a big 10-inch worm in a dark color like a black or a black and blue, and I really like a big black and blue jig at night. And guys, just go out and cast that thing around. The strikes, the bites are vicious. They'll jerk the rod out of your hand, and fish are surprisingly active at night. Just get you some bug spray, plan your trip, let somebody know where you're going, and really take your time. Navigating obviously is a bit different at night. You can do this almost anywhere, but the clearer the water, typically the better the night fishing. You're in Tennessee, your Percy Priest, Center Hill, Dale Hollow, which is also Kentucky, as well as Lake Cumberland in Kentucky, would be my bets if I was going night fishing. One more quick thing to think about. A buddy of mine told me the other day that he took his son and went wade fishing. They just swim trunks, sandals, a spinning rod, and took off wading up the creek. And he said they had a ball. It was obviously a way to beat the heat by being in the water. Caught a lot of fish and had a good time.
These fish are beasts, I'm here to tell you. You don't want to horse these fish too bad. Oh, I got him. All right, there's another big one. Golly, we have killed them today. This has been incredible. Look at that. I want to do two things right here. Number one, I'm going to give you Mike Acosta's information on the screen right now. If you'd like to book a guide trip, not only here at Possum Kingdom, but several lakes in Texas, he specializes in stripers and hybrid stripers. And if you want to catch some, you can contact him at the number you see on your screen. Also, don't forget to follow us on our Twitter feed. We're giving away a brand new Fox Sports Outdoors jersey. Look us up on Twitter. It's Fox_Outdoors. You can find us, click the follow button, and you'll be eligible automatically to win a jersey and a bunch more free gear. There is one more bad boy for you, folks. Away he goes, and we're coming right back to wrap it all up.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. By Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And by Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro segment, where viewers get expert insights from professional anglers. This week's question comes from Eric, who asks, what size of trolling motor do I need for a full-sized bass boat? For the answer, we checked with the man who won last year's Bassmaster Classic, Randy Howell.
Trolling motors, are a dime a dozen, and they're everywhere, and then there's a lot. If you don't choose the right one, you can have a lot of trouble. I like the Motor Guide TR109. It's a 109-pound thrust. It's a digital motor, and it's a cable pulley-driven system instead of an old-fashioned cable. So it's really smooth. It's quiet. You don't have to worry about your steering cable breaking on it like some of the older ones. And it's a 36-volt system, and that's what we like, because I like to go fast, fish fast, and cover a lot of water. It does good in current if you're fishing rivers. But if you've got an 18-foot Triton bass boat, something smaller, they make that same motor in an 82-pound thrust, and it's also a digital version, and that's the one I'd recommend, either the 82 or the 109 in the Motor Guide Digital.
Thanks, Randy. If you have something to ask one of the pros, simply visit our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now someone's going to win a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
As you well know, each week someone wins a free pair of Costa sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week contest just by sending in their big fish photo. Here's this week's winner. He is Jody Mills of Monroe, North Carolina, showing a 34-inch cobia He caught at Morehead City Port, North Carolina. If you'd like to be our next winner, send us your photo. Go to the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Click in the Coast to Catch of the Week area on the right side of the front page. Send us your photo and you could be our next winner. And you can see all of the Costa products at their website. Go back to the front page of our site, click on the Costa logo. It'll take you straight to their site where you can see all of their excellent frame styles and lens styles, including the blue, beautiful frame style I was wearing this week called Cat K. Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, it's the right gear to catch these stripers at a lake near you. And it begins with the biggest casting rod that Lew's makes in the Lew's Custom Speed Stick series. It's the 7'11", nearly 8-foot long rod, Magnum casting rod, the Lew's Custom Speed Stick. You can tell it by the white on the handles. I have on that the Lew's BB1 Pro reel. Many times on the stripers, longest cast wins, and the longest casting reel I know of is the Lew's BB1 Pro. It will haul it out there. As far as the lures go, there were 3 lures that we caught them on today. A big swim bait, that's a 6 or 7 inch long swim bait on an 1.5 ounce head. Below that is a 1 ounce spoon, and it's a 5 inch long spoon. This is not a baby spoon. Below that, we caught some smaller stripers on a deep diving crankbait. That bait will dive about 12 feet deep. And I fully recommend that you use a net when you're striper fishing. Too many bad things can happen when you get a striper flopping around in the bottom of the boat. He's got sharp gill plates, he'll cut you. You've got treble hooks flying around everywhere, and those are bad boys when you get them in the boat. You need a good quality net to handle those fish when you get one up near the boat and get it inside the boat. English poet John Donne penned a work in 1624 that included the well-known phrase, "For whom the bell tolls." Also in that work was another well-known phrase that says, "No man is an island." Even though that was written in 1624, it is so true today. Many of us live in isolation. All we need is our cell phone, our mobile device, the internet, our busy schedules, and everybody else gets isolated out. It's not healthy for us. God created all of us as relational beings. We need each other. We need friends and family and relationships. But those relationships require time, energy, and effort invested. The question is, are you and I interested in investing that kind of time and energy in each other's lives? It involves putting some of those devices down, looking each other in the eye, and talking to each other. Our lives are much healthier when we have each other in them. Hey, don't forget to join us for our show next week. We'll be on Thursday at 6 p.m. with the repeat airing Sunday at 8:30 a.m. You can always catch up on all of our past episodes on the front page of our website. Click on past episodes and more video here, and it will take you to everything we've done in the last few years. Also, don't forget to join us on our Facebook page for all the latest fishing news and photos and videos, and follow us on that Twitter feed. Once again, we're giving away a Fox Sports Outdoors jersey. You got to click follow on Twitter at the address you see on your screen. From Possum Kingdom Lake in West Texas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, guys.